In this training series, we're going to take a look at how we can build a professional website working with Joomla, the free open source content management system, and also working with CorelDRAW to create our graphics and work with our images. In this session, I'd like to lay a foundation for those of you who have never worked in internet marketing before, and even those of you that have some understanding of internet marketing. I'm sure will get some benefit from this particular video. We want to start out with understanding what the internet is. And that's the first question we're going to ask. I'm going to ask you to kind of put aside what you think the internet is and how it's all working and what the big picture is. And let's see what we're dealing with when it comes to internet marketing and setting up our website and getting our content and our business online. What is the internet? It's a massive compilation of linked content. If you think about it, the internet itself really is not your content or your website. That resides on your server. What the internet is doing is linking all of that together. What is content? Information, entertainment, communication, and applications presented through images, video, text, and audio. If you look at Google with its simple text links, the information that Google is presenting is nothing more than text through searches and ranks, all the way up to the high-end 3D games that people are playing online, which are really nothing more than video and audio presented in an interactive environment. What does the internet do with content? Nothing more than link it. How do people find and or visit your website and content? Through the internet, typically it's going to come through links and content around the internet. What do all the top websites in the world, including Google, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, eBay, and many others, have in common? They do not create their own content. Who creates content for all the top websites in the world, including Google, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, eBay, and many others? Millions of users and other websites. And even if you look at Google, when you do a text search through their search engine, you get back text links, and the information associated with those text links are taken from those websites. Google did not create that content. If you look at Facebook, users create accounts, upload photos, link with other users. The users are creating the content. YouTube, users upload their videos. LinkedIn, similar to Facebook but business, create an account, upload your resume, some information about your business, and link with other business people. And even eBay, who does auctions. Other people create the auctions on their website. We want to be aware of this because we're going to be dealing with two types of content that we're going to be shooting for, or going to be our target or our goal on the internet. Not just our website, but we want to create content, if we have the opportunity, that will in of itself spread across the internet through other users creating that content for us. How does Google really rank your website and content? Based on content called links related to your website and content across the internet. Content, and I can't stress this enough, the quality of the content that you have on your website or in your videos or in the other content that you're presenting across the internet is really going to define your business. And while some of us aren't going to be creating video sites like I do with Advanced T-shirts and Advanced Artists, even when we're dealing with just our homepage or just our website, we want to have quality content, quality images, and quality information. Because as it's often been said in web marketing, content is king. Welcome to the World Wide Web of linked content. And I've created a graphic here to help me explain this and lay all this out for you. You can see that the internet really is comprised of content. We've got Google here and YouTube, and we've got e-stores and directories and forums and blogs and Facebook pages and small business websites, all linked together throughout the World Wide Web. And this massive compilation of linked content is really where we want to set our foundation of understanding that our objective is to embed our content into the internet in such a way that it's going to be easy for the search engines to work with it. It's going to be easy for other users to go out and share your content and share information about you and your website and your business across the internet, so that you're getting as much content spread as possible into the internet. And we'll see some of that even in the work I've done with my own websites here. Content insights. and I want to take a look at this. There are really two types of content on the internet, and you have your on-site or your actual website itself, but there's also off-site content about you and your website, and that would be YouTube, forums, other websites, etc. Go ahead and scroll down here and take a look at the two types of users relating to your content, at least the two that you want to be very aware of. People that see your content, and search engine spiders, and other software that scans your site and all the content across the internet. So you're really dealing with two types of visitors or users or consumers of your content. People and the search engine bots, programs, algorithms, and spiders that rank and list your content. Content really has two types of properties that I like to refer to or focus on, and that is non-spreading and spreading. If you have static content on your website and you're driving traffic there commercially, that's a good thing to do, and it's a great place to start. If you have the opportunity to develop spreading content, then you're going to have much more success with your business. For example, on our website, Advanced T-Shirts and AdvancedArtist.com, we have videos, and we also have videos on YouTube. And that information tends to spread. People post about it, put it in their blogs, etc. There's also two types of content creators. You create and share content. Your users create and share content. For example, the Google spider comes and takes some information from your pages, puts it into its directory. Somebody does a keyword search in Google. That information comes up. This spider has created content in Google for you. And users who find you ranked high are going to click on those links and come to your website. Also, people who are exposed to your content, if they find the value that they need in your content, will very happily go out to the internet and share that information across the internet. They will post in their blogs, link to it in their forums, etc. Content optimization, and this is very critical. When you're dealing with content, you want to deal with a term related to search engine and how the search engines work, and that term is SEO, or search engine optimization. And while this term is very important, and we'll learn some things about it, in my opinion, we're now in the era of content optimization, and SEO, or search engine optimization, is part of content optimization. But really, what you want to do is develop content, as I said, that's going to spread very easily across the internet. Success through content. The typical business person thinks, I need to make a website and put it on the internet. And while that's partially true, it's also wrong. You need to develop content that integrates into the internet as a whole. And you need to distribute that content, hopefully on your website, in your Facebook, in your YouTube, and in other venues across the internet that will enable you to literally saturate the internet, hopefully, with your business message. Pursuing your business or internet objectives goes far beyond just your website. Your objective should be to create a on-site and off-site content that is effectively integrated into the internet as a whole. As much as possible, content should be developed and optimized to enable other sites and people to create content for you. This includes sharing, embedding, and listening of content through search engines, forums, blogs, videos, and so on. Hardware to software to content. And I just want to take a look at this so we understand how the internet really works. Your images, audio, text, video, applications, etc. all reside on computer systems that are hooked together or linked together through the internet. All of this information or media is processed through the operating system, Linux, through programming languages, PHP, through databases like MySQL. And then we have our content management systems such as Joomla, WordPress, or our web-based design system like Opentshirts.org. All of this is translated through your browser and the browsers of people across the world into your website and content. And here you have your audio, text, images and video, or applications being presented and dispersed out across the internet. That content is then, if it's developed correctly, taken by users such as Google Spiders, listed, indexed, and ranked, or perhaps somebody who has a blog and posts something about your website, etc. And from there, you can start to saturate the internet. Some content on YouTube, even though it's not on your website, can easily be embedded in blogs and forums around the internet. There again, bringing forth your message in video. So we can see how the internet literally functions by coming off of the servers and computers, and we'll be working with these in this training series so we understand how to set up our content, our text, images, audio, video, etc. on these, and then have them processed through software into content that is translated by a web browser and then hopefully dispersed across the entire internet, so that literally you're not just engaging the internet with your website, very important, but actually what we're doing is we're engaging the internet with content. I want to take a look at some of this relating to my own website. And here I have google.com, and I've done a search for CorelDRAW X6 tutorial. We get a lot of our traffic on our website because of the quality of our tutorials and videos. We also have some free downloads and things like that that also draw traffic. But you can see I've done a search here for CorelDRAW X6 tutorial, and I'm on page 1. And here I have 3 YouTube videos as the first 3 listings. These are all my YouTube videos. I also have here 3 links to my website, advancedtshirts.com. Now we can look at how this content works and how this spreading works, because here's YouTube. Now if they didn't get to my site on this link, they got one of my videos, and in my videos I have my advancedtshirts.com logo. And we find that very frequently people find us on YouTube, then go to our website and make a purchase. Here we have advancedtshirts.com, direct link, direct link, direct link. Then we have down here CorelDRAW-tutorials.com. Let's take a look at this link. This is a blog post created by another website where they have embedded a link in their blog which goes to our website to watch the video. Now, did you see that? That was not my website, but yet it was ranked in Google through somebody else's website, went to a link that brought them to my website. And this is some of the things that we want to understand about content and links. If we go down further, we can see video overview of the CorelDRAW X6 upgrade, CorelDRAW tutorial. We'll go ahead and click on that. And this, again, is a link going back to our website. Now, we submit these tutorials across the internet on purpose because these are links going back to our website, but not only that, we get exposure through sites with people who are looking for tutorials, and we can feed them good information about how to work with the CorelDRAW product. Go ahead and go back here, and then we'll come back here. So we can see how it is we're spreading or saturating the internet with our content on advancedtshirts.com. How the internet analyzes content. 2 content analyzers and rankers. And we want to be well aware of this, especially if we're going to be working with trying to get some good ranks in Google. On your website, you have on-site and search content. Now, if we take a look at the front page, and this is the advancedartist.com website, this is what a human user sees. But if we take a look at what the spiders see, it's very different. And we'll go ahead and take a look at that. Here we have set up on our browser the advancedartist.com website. And this is what a human user will see when they visit your website. But you have other visitors which we've referred to as spiders, or the bots or the algorithms from Google. I'll right click on this and I'll go to View Page Source. And here is what Google will be looking at when they look at your website. And here we can see we've got some keywords: CorelDRAW tutorials, CorelDRAW training, tutorials, CorelDRAW. Here's the description of the content: free CorelDRAW training. And Google will also scan down through your page looking for text information on your page. And as we go down through here, we can see how to convert a simple design to high-end fashion t-shirt designs. There's some text there. Google will see that. This amazing CorelDRAW tutorial will show you how to convert a simple vector design. There's some more text information here, and this is what Google will be looking at when they're determining what your website is about. And you want to be aware of that when you're creating content for your website, that what you're actually doing is creating content for multiple users. You want to create content for human visitors, you want to create content for the spiders, you want to create content that people will feel that they have enough value in your content that they'd want to go out across the internet and share it for you. So the way I kind of look at all of this is I look at it kind of like we've got human traffic, we've got spiders looking at our source code and the text on our pages, and then we also have these spiders looking at, and these human visitors looking at, what I refer to as off-site or associated content. And that's content in forums and on other people's blogs and on YouTube. So you have content really. If you've done your web work successfully, your content is really going to be embedded not just into your website, but there's going to be off-site content created by other users, similar to the way in which the big websites such as Google and YouTube and Facebook have other users creating the content for them directly in their websites or social networks. And you can see that what you'll have here is that links to your content and site, and how Google will rank your site will really be dependent upon your off-site or associated content. Now, some of that you can make yourself by working with link sharing networks and things like that, but really you're going to be far better off if other people are doing the work for you. Now, we've been very fortunate with our websites that we've had a lot of people in forums and social networks and coming off of YouTube and embedding our videos, and some of the things we saw when we looked back at the rankings for our CorelDRAW X6 tutorials. And you want to keep this in mind when you're thinking about developing a website and approaching the internet for your web design or marketing objectives. And then we can get a picture of kind of like how the overall function of all of this works. Web design and marketing, your internet content, two types of visitors. You have human visitors who access through the internet. Now, some of you will have small businesses and you'll be sending out catalogs and things like that, and that can also work to get traffic and visitors on your business. And you have clients for your business that when you set up your website, obviously they're going to go to your website when they want to engage in business with you. You have search engine spiders, and then you have your content, which is kind of going out in different places, as you can see here. Now, when people come through different venues or different avenues of the internet to your net content and are engaged with your content on your website, what we really want is two objectives. Number one, if possible, we'd like to see them purchase some products. Number two is we want them to have received enough value through our content that they're going to go out into the internet and spread your message for you, that they're going to create content for you through blog posts and posts in forums and other things. And then our spider visitors are going to find that across the internet, and they're going to rank our website higher, which is going to send us more traffic, which is going to get us more sales and more content saturating the internet created by those people who have been exposed to the value of our content or what we're providing for them. And the whole thing just becomes cyclical. And I guess you could say, I have an equation for it, but it's on-site search engine content plus evaluated associated internet content equals rank. In other words, what Google does is they look at your on-site search engine content, the source code, and the keywords and the things you've done correctly to help Google understand what your website is about. Then Google goes out in the internet and evaluates your associated internet content, the links coming back to your site from blogs and forums and other areas. And with that, they give you your rank. Your rank in the search engines is what's going to bring you traffic through the search engines. And we get the majority of our traffic through search engines. We also get a lot of traffic through links and forums and blog posts and things like that. Traffic equals sales, revenue, marketing objectives, and associated content opportunities. In other words, if these people find enough value in the information they have found on your website, then they will go out and start to share your marketing message for you. And all of this really comes down to the bottom line, which is making money on your website through all of the things that are going on in this process of getting your content embedded into the internet. Let's go ahead and take a look at the results of this. So the two types of content which we've covered, which is the on-site content and your off-site or associated content. Let's take a look at the power of associated content. Here I have a screen capture of some of the analysis reports relating to the traffic on one of our websites. And we can see here, this is not the full month, but at this day, or this point in time, we'd received 8,318 visitors from Google to our website. Now that was all free. Because of the way in which Google has associated the value of our offsite content, they've given us high ranking in the search engines. You've got YouTube, excuse me, not YouTube, but Yahoo, Bing, AOL, etc. here. So here we've got 8,000 free visitors to our website coming through the search engines. Now down here we've got some links where people are coming in from links. We've got victorials.com, which is a tutorial site, which we have some videos posted on. We got 251 visitors from there. You come down here, Más Tutoriales, and we got 90 visitors there. ZetaPrints.com, help free CorelDRAW tutorials. Somebody embedded our content into their website and we got traffic from it. So we can very easily see that we want to be really trying to understand how these two types of content work and how it is that we want to engage the internet so that we can get the traffic on our websites that are going to produce A, our sales, and B, users going out and sharing our message for us. I want to talk about coming up with a strategy and looking at the phases or steps to becoming successful on the internet. First thing is an idea or decision to start a website. Absolutely need to do that if you're in business. If you don't have a decent website, you're probably losing some business. Also, your competitors probably have websites, and if you want to compete with them effectively, you're going to need a website to do it. Research and discovery, and that's a lot of what we've covered here in this video. The most critical phase of your web design project. Refine your web design idea and objectives. Clarify and plan your website objective and goals with your research and information, and we'll cover some things relating to that also. Second, the fifth step here, site design and development. Design and develop your website and content around your strategy. Launch. Launch your website or e-business. Marketing. Execute associated content marketing plans. Number 8, analyze and track your results. Analyze and track your site's growth and marketing results, but not just on your website. Look at how your content is spreading across the internet, how you're generating off-site content or associated content. Maintenance and updating. Update and maintain your website and your strategies. And you will be able to achieve the success that you're looking for on the internet if you follow those steps and you work on some quality content. Now, there's going to be some work involved with this. It's not necessarily something easy. It takes some time to do. It takes some time to get ranks in the internet. It takes some time before Google will look at your website and believe that it's really about what it is. Google will watch what's going on with it for a few months before they really start ranking it. But in the meantime, you can be working on it and building it and developing it so that as it starts to come up in the ranks, you'll be ready to handle the traffic that comes through your website. So I think we've laid a foundation at this point for our marketing objectives relating to understanding what the internet is and how we want to engage the internet with our website and our content, and how we want to think about creating a marketing strategy or a marketing plan for our success in the internet as a whole. I'll go ahead and wrap here, and we'll continue in our next session.